Hey guys, welcome back to AGS Trade Review. This week is the trade deadline special. We only have a couple trades here, two bigger trades, one small trade that we'll be covering. The first trade you can see here is the Tennessee Titans um, getting Sheldon Richardson, Ratley, and a 4th round pick in exchange for Jayon Brown, Davison, and Logan Ryan. This trade is pretty good for both teams, pretty balanced. You give up one player to get a player at a different position. That's more of a need. That's pretty much how this trade goes down. Tennessee has good corners, so they give up a guy on his last year of his deal, and they go and get a defensive tackle here, Sheldon Richardson, who's really nice, good stats. He's getting up there in age, but he's a good player for this year. And then they also went out and got a nice young speedy wide receiver. Not the best development, could be a lot better, but good speed. He'll get open. He'll be decent as a number 4 wide receiver for that team. They also got Cleveland's 2020 4th round pick, which isn't much value because the Browns are a playoff team, but picks are picks at the end of the day. And now looking at this from the Browns' perspective, they send Richardson for Logan Ryan, pretty much straight up, which that's a pretty good trade. Getting a corner in exchange for a D tackle when you already have a guy like Kenny Clark is a win for most teams. They also got Davison, who's a backup D tackle, who can help Kenny Clark if he's tired, and then they also got Jayon Brown, who has 87 speed. He's young. I believe he has star dev. Nope, normal dev. Okay, normal dev there. And now they balanced out their linebacker core more with some more speed. Pluth now has a better user. 87 speed is pretty good at the linebacker spot. He got a superstar corner next to Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams. So the Browns got loaded from this in the secondary, added some depth and some linebacker help in exchange for a wide receiver that they didn't need, and they got rid of their backup defensive tackle, which you don't need to keep a backup defensive tackle on his last year of his deal. So, good trade for the Browns. I think they win this trade solely because they get a corner. Any other position, I don't think they win this trade, but getting Logan Ryan on top of Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams in your secondary is going to help for a playoff push tremendously. Titans, I do think they lost this trade, but really, they didn't lose the trade, if that makes sense. They got what they needed from it. They gave up a player that they didn't need. They couldn't re-sign. They just paid Adoree Jackson. So it makes sense. It doesn't hurt them too much giving up a guy who's 29 and some backup players, exchange for a guy at wide receiver and a starting defensive tackle. So good trade all around from both teams. Okay, so the next trade we have here is between Jacksonville and the 49ers. So the Jaguars, they sent Fournette and a 2nd round pick in exchange for Jerick McKinnon and Dante Pettis, and a 2021 5th round pick. This trade, I think Jacksonville wins this. It's a pretty fair trade, again, like the Browns-Titans trade. It's fair. Both teams adjust, or they go and get a player in a position of need for a player that they already have. That's more or less towards Jacksonville. 49ers, I'll explain more later. I don't really like the trade in their eyes. But either way, it's still a good trade for both teams. You go get a starting wide receiver who's young, he's got speed, he's got development. You got your future wide receiver. And you get a running back who's going to do a good job. 92 speed. He's not going to cost you games. And you got him, for not too much. 49er wise, they go get Fournette and a 2nd. They're going for a 2-headed monster, obviously here, being the top running team in the league, stat wise. You got Breida. He's going to get tired. You need a number 2. Fournette is that guy. He'll change up the pace. He'll come in. He'll run some people over. Give Breida a rest and make that two-headed monster ridiculous. But the issue with that is you now gave up your best wide receiver in a wide receiver core that was already really not good. It was not good at all. You had Pettis and Trent Taylor. Nobody has good devs here. They're all normal devs. Debo could be good, but 88 speed, really, the best speed you have is a 91. So, not the best. It's going to allow for teams to just come up to the line and press you now and play the run more, which is going to make this Fournette trade worse. That's why I think Jacksonville won this trade over the Niners. I like what the Niners were trying to do. Get really aggressive, run the ball, but you traded away your best wide receiver. Teams don't have to respect the pass anymore. You're going to get stuffed in the run game. If teams can still stop your run game. That's not saying that he can, still cook. Playing against them personally, coming in 4-4 formations, everybody at the line pressing, blitzing, still could run the ball effectively. So we'll see how this trade develops throughout the season. I definitely think I like the move from the Niners. Also, the downside of it happens. But Jacksonville, this is a really good trade. You get a good, not young, but 28. That's all right. Decent plug-in running back, and you get a young, developable wide receiver. You're good there. I like this trade a lot from Jacksonville. Yes, you gave up a second, but really, you're not drafting an 83 overall with the second round pick. Plus, you already got first round picks out the, so you're good there. Really like this trade. Alright, and the last trade of the day is a really short one, not too interesting. The Broncos shipped their backup running back to the Bengals, Royce Freeman, for a third round pick. Simple pick, simple trade. Third round for a 77-24 overall running back. Or 24 years old, 77 overall running back. For the Broncos, this is a really good trade. They have a rookie who's the backup to Lindsey already. So you get a third round pick from it. That'll help with the rebuild or rebuilding if they need to. Or just helping build the team around, these guys. So good trade from both teams. I don't think there's really a clear winner in this because it kind of depends on what the Broncos draft. If they go out and get a steal in that third round pick, then it was a win. But chances are they're going to draft like a 68, 70 overall player at the best in the third round. So it's a fair trade. Give up a backup for a decent pick. The last thing I'd like to mention before we end the episode is during the trade deadline, there was heavy rumors coming out of Indianapolis about Andrew Luck being traded. We're not quite sure what the Colts were looking for. Apparently there were a couple teams interested. They were listening to offers, so obviously they want to go younger here at quarterback. We'll see what they'll be able to trade him for coming up in the offseason. And a superstar X Factor, really good the second best quarterback in this game behind Patrick Mahomes, who's a 99 already. He should go for a lot. Yes, he's 30, but he's good. He's got everything you want in a quarterback. So we're interested. We'll keep an eye out on this trade to see if he leaves Indianapolis during this year or at the end of this year. We'll find out. Definitely multiple first rounders and a player most likely coming for Luck. So we'll keep in touch on that and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, that'll be all for this week's episode, the trade deadline episode. Appreciate you all for watching it. I will be keeping updates throughout the rest of the year till the off season on any trades that go through. I'll cover them, review them again. We'll see what spicy trades we get this year. Hopefully nothing too crazy to switch up the balance, but Andrew Luck leaving will be very interesting. Let's see how that goes. But you know, like they say, it's only just a rumor. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Leave any feedback down below. Comment, like, whatever. Do all the good stuff. Appreciate you all for watching. And until next time, keep it easy.